So today I wanted to just very briefly talk about two things, which is your branded brand kit as well as your team. So we're going to get into brand kit first. Again, this is something for an upgraded, like a pro account, but these are all pro account features. So I always put the link in these descriptions. If you want to upgrade, I just upgraded. I think it was like $200. And I don't think that's for the year because I don't remember paying $200 last year. I feel like that might be a 2-year thing. Either way, $200 or $100 a year for the pro account with everything that you get in Canva is totally worth it. Especially because we went over this content planner, and while it doesn't have Instagram, you could literally schedule everything else out and it's like included with your account. So if you haven't upgraded yet, just click below and get it upgraded. So it's really cool to have brand colors and logos in here. I could actually add more logos, which I should. So especially if you work with clients, this is an awesome feature because not only would you have like your own personal brand colors, you can have your brand color palette for all of your different programs and sales funnels and membership pages and stuff. You can also have your personal like branded colors for your personal like website page. You also can upload all of these brand color palettes for all of your clients. So as you can see, I have a decent amount of different folders for some of my clients, some of my different programs, stuff like that. Same thing with your branded fonts. So the one thing I will say with fonts, you can upload a font, which is really cool. So if you really, really like a font and it's a paid font, in fact, when you go to Pinterest, the best way to look at fonts, so you can just say website fonts. That way you can see some of them and pull stuff like this up. If this was, so this is Etsy, which means that, so see, you can see this is a bundle. So you get the brand kit, the logo, the web header, the branding, the editable template. So that's for $24.65 on Etsy. So you can find a lot of these on Etsy. So if you purchase a font, you can upload your own custom fonts in here. One thing I will say though, is as you can see, you can add multiple brand colors. Like I could create a new one if I wanted to, just like with this little palette. And then you can just add a custom palette, or you can like do one of these. So you can do unlimited brand colors, but you can only do 3 branded fonts because they're thinking that you're just using it for yours, which is no biggie. Again, Etsy has tons that you can literally buy if you like a specific font. So if you like this blush creative, so whatever font that is. Another thing though that I love using, and this one is cheap and free. So Google Fonts is pretty much on every platform. So this is really cool. If you go to fonts.google.com and you can type something in, this is how I find all of my fonts. So just little tidbits, right? I'm just throwing you guys everything. So then you can scroll down here. There's thousands and you're like, oh, I really like this architect's daughter. First, you can see if it's available in Canva. Second though, especially drop funnels or WordPress sites, I'm sure the other ones, but those ones I know for sure, they run on Google Fonts. So you always can copy this architect's daughter into like your drop funnels page or your WordPress page, and it'll grab that font for you. So it's just like a cheap way of testing out whether or not you like a font. Like I actually like this one. Okay, so anyways, sidetracked. So when we come over here, so when you have all of this, the cool thing I like with this though is when you come to create a design over here, so we're just going to start with an Instagram presentation or Instagram post. So say we want to use this. So when I highlight over the colors, as you can see, all of my different brand palettes are in here. So all of these are in here. So I can just click through and use the ones accordingly. Of course, you can add custom ones, but it makes it super, super fast and simple. Same thing with the fonts. You come over here and you're going to see brand fonts. So you can just click through your brand fonts. So obviously the whole point of branding yourself is to be congruent with your brand. So if you are constantly upgrading your website, you're constantly changing your fonts, you're constantly changing your colors, it's not the best thing for you. You should stick to one color palette, one font, like you have your same header, excuse me, same header, subheader, and body. You should use that for like 6 months before you rebrand yourself, recolor yourself. Now, I will say though, when it comes to creating courses, programs, sales funnels, you can use any color you want. Use whatever color you think will stand out the most, because that's what's going to sell. And when you're doing a sales page, it's important to still be branded, but you don't have to be like super congruent with your branding. You want to obviously create a page that sells with tidbits of your brand in there, right? So that's the reason why I like the branding, because it makes it super, super easy, especially when it comes to the colors. Also, another thing I love, guess I'm just giving you all of these little tidbits today. So colors.co, COOLORS.co. So it's kind of like coolers. This is free and it's awesome. You just hit start generator and you press the space bar. This is where I go to find all of my colors. So you can choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or if you want to only do 4 colors, and all you do is you press the space bar and it'll generate different colors for you. And if you want one, you just hit this little lock and you can keep moving over like, ooh, this looks cool. Oh, I like this one too. Oh, let's do, oh, perfect. Boom. And then you can either save it, but that's like an upgraded feature. So I normally just screenshot it and I just drag it across like that. And I save those colors straight to my computer. And then I just go back into Canva and I create a branded color palette. So my job is to make your life simpler. And these things make it like 10 times more simpler, because you're not going through like, oh, I wonder if, well, I like that pink, but maybe I should do this, or 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 maybe should I do this? You're spending hours just picking a color when you could just come over here, click through, find the branded palette that you want for that specific page, take a screenshot of it, and then copy these are the color codes. So put these color codes back into Canva as a brand color, and then you have the palette right there for you. So it's super, super, super easy. Same thing with your fonts. So, okay, that's the first thing I wanted to show you all. And let me make sure nothing is happening. Okay. The second thing I wanted to show you all is creating team members. So again, this is really only important if you have VAs, if you have help, if you have other people that you want on your team. So when you do create a team member, it gives them access here, which technically means they have access to Pro. So it's definitely a benefit. And like, it's something that you can tell people if you're generous enough, because you do technically have to pay for them. But it's not that much. So I only have 2, but you can send people invites here, and then it says add seats to your plan for $119.40 per person per year. So you do have to pay for them. But once again, this is only like that level of your business when you can afford to do these, and it makes sense, because if you have multiple VAs, you want them to have access to A, Canva Pro, and B, your Canva Pro. And it's just a little bit, you could just give them your login information. So that's totally fine if you're trusting. But if you're on other teams like I am, then you might not want to give them your direct login, because that's, you know, giving them access to your other clients. So instead, you're just going to pay for them to be on your Canva, and they get all of this technically for free for them. But all of this is being part of your team. So it's nice. It just keeps things organized. You can also create like, you can make this a little bit better looking, but you can create other teams as well. And I think that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Was brand kits. and the importance of them, and then just reminding you that you can add people to your team. You do have to pay for them, but in my opinion, it's worth it when you're able to afford that, just to give them access to Canva Pro. It's a nice perk. And that way they can just go in, they see all of your designs, they have all of your brand colors. So like, especially if you're working with clients, so if you're a coach or a consultant, or you're working with multiple clients and your VA does social media content for your clients, and you can just be like, oh, go over, I made a brand color palette for Cheryl, and you can just use all of those colors and then use these fonts, right? So it just makes it a little bit more simpler, which is the whole point of all of these videos. So, all right, that's it for today.